Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video today, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this structured asymmetric sleeve with organza. This is how it looks on a dress. If it's something you're interested in, keep watching this video and let's get right to it. To achieve this kind of sleeve, you'll need your basic sleeve pattern, and it is going to be on fold when you're cutting on your material. I just had to indicate so you would not be confused. You can also determine what length you want, but for this tutorial I used a length of 13 for the full sleeve. I didn't want it to be really long, so I used a length of 13. And then you may be wondering why my sleeve is a bit A-shaped in that area. That's because to your normal basic sleeve, you want to add about 3 inches just to bring it out a bit. Alternatively, you could do slash and spread, but I didn't want to go through the slash and spread method. I just added 3 inches to the lower part of the sleeve and just ruled out a line there. That's why it's giving like this A shape. Next thing you want to do is that the left part of your sleeve has to be shorter than the right part of your sleeve. So to reduce from this part, from the upper part of your sleeve, you want to come down by about 7 inches. If you don't want it to be very open at that part, you can come down by 8 inches or 9 inches, but 7 inches is what I use for these tutorials and it was just fine. So now you want to use your curve ruler to connect. Look at the way I'm connecting. You have to place your ruler like this. So use your curve ruler to connect from that 7 inches point to the end of the sleeve. After that, you just go ahead and cut it out and your sleeve is ready. Just make sure that when you are cutting on your fabric, because we did not leave any stitching allowance or hem allowance, you're going to be leaving everything. You're going to be putting everything out on your fabric. So that is the upper part of your armhole and this is the lower part. I was just marking it so you don't get confused. So now we're going to use crepe material for this tutorial as well as organza. I don't know if it's organza or organdy. I can't even remember anymore. But you can basically use organza or organdy as the layer of this, like as the outer layer of this sleeve. I am using this crepe, and this crepe I bought is already pre-interfaced. It was interfaced in the market before I got it. So if you don't have an interface crepe for this particular tutorial, you want to interface your crepe so that it's going to be hard enough to form that structure you want. Next thing you want to do is place your pattern paper on your fabric. Make sure it's on fold. I folded twice because I'm cutting the two sleeves together instead of cutting them individually. After pinning down, you want to leave your allowance. I left 1 inch allowance at the side, so we're going to be using 1 inch for joining, and for the lower part I left ½ inch for joining. So you can do this, you can leave one inch if you want, and you can leave half, but this is what I'm using for this tutorial. You can decide to follow it if you want. After noting your hemming and stitching allowance, next thing you want to do is cut it out. And then for the lining, we are going to line this sleeve. It's going to be a full lining because if you see from the picture, the sleeve is actually opened at the lower part, so you have to line it so that it will be neat. I'll be using lycra as lining for this particular sleeve. You can decide to use any lining you're familiar with. After cutting, just make sure you cut the lining exact way the other sleeve is. And then we want to start pleating our organza. I'm using 1 yard of organza for both sleeves. What I did was to just halve the 1 yard into 2. So 1 yard should be enough to get the exact effect you can see in this tutorial. What you want to do next is fold your organza or organdy and then mark the middle of it. Then pin the middle of the organza to the middle of the actual sleeve. All we need to do now is to start pleating the organza on the sleeve. I like to call this draping, even though it's not really draping. You can achieve this through slash and spread, but I decided to just go the simpler way. I'm sure pleating is not really going to be difficult for you, but if you want your pleats to just be equal, you want to measure them, what I did was place 1.5 on my tape at the middle and then pleat with 1 inch for every pleat. That's just what I did. So if you can watch closely, you would see that I just placed 1.5 from the first pleat and then pleated with 1 inch. So just if you look closely, you would be able to understand it. And if you have questions, just let me know. If you have somewhere you're not clear on, let me know. So at the inside of the pleat, where you can see from the transparent part, you just place your tape on it, 1.5, and then pleat with 1 inch. You do that until you get to the end of this part, and then you do that for the other part. At the end of the day, you want to make sure all your pleats are equal. That is just what we're trying to achieve with this. If you're the kind of person that slash and spread is easier and faster for you, then you can go ahead and do that. But if you don't want to start start drafting patterns, you just want to use freehand, then you can also go ahead and use this method. After pleating the upper part, you just need to arrange the pleats. The lower part does not necessarily need any calculation. Just trace from the upper part, come down and just trace to the lower part. That's all you need to do. It's very, very simple once you do it. After arranging, you want to arrange back to the middle where you started from, and I'm doing it bit by bit so you can understand and see what I'm doing, but it's actually faster than this if you are doing it. After doing this, you want to do the exact same thing you did for the other part of this sleeve. So the calculation we did, every 1.5 you pleat. You see 1.5 at the middle, you pleat 1 inch, you do 1.5, you pleat 1 inch, you do 1.5, you pleat 1 inch, and just do it to the end, just like that. After pleating, this is what it's going to look like. You can go ahead to count to the middle and see if it is equal on both sides. If it is equal, then you are good to go. Your pleats are good to go. What you want to do next is just trim out the excess. When you trim out the excess, you would see that this is what it looks like. So what you want to do now is sew the upper part and the lower part, just to like hold down the organza to the actual sleeve. After doing that, this is what it will look like. You go ahead and iron because you want it to be very, very neat. Next thing we want to do now is fix our boning. We're going to be using sewable boning for this sleeve because that's what is going to give it like the standing effect. So for the sewable boning, you just want to sew from this point and make sure you're sewing on the line because you still want that your ½ inch allowance you left before to still be there. After that, you just join it. When you are joining your boning, make sure it's at the edge of the boning. You see, if you check your sewable boning, you see that there's one part that is very, very flat and not thick. That is where you want to sew on. Next thing you want to do is join your lining to your actual sleeve. Just pin it down the way it is and then take it to your machine and sew. After joining, this is what it's going to look like. So you can go ahead and iron at this point, or you can just go ahead to join the sides of your sleeve. So watch closely how I'm going to join the sides of your sleeve, because you don't want the hem to be showing. You don't want the sides to have like seams showing outside. What you want to do is just put the two sleeves together. Make sure the right side is facing the right side like this, and make sure when I mean right side, the right side of the fabric itself is facing each other, pinned down together, and then the right side of the lining should be facing each other. So the right side of the fabric itself should be facing each other, while the right side of the lining should be facing each other. And you're going to just take your 1 inch allowance you left, just the way I'm doing it. You're going to take it like a triangle. You take for the lining from this tip down, from this tip down for the fabric. I hope you understand. If you don't, please ask questions and try not to make any mistakes. This is what it's going to look like after stitching. You can see that the inside is very neat and there's no seam showing inside at all. Then you want to go ahead and hold your boning together. This is optional. You can do it with hem gum, but I just like to sew because I like the effect it gives to the sleeve. You can as well try it out and see how it looks. You may just end up loving it. While you're at it, make sure you stitch the lining to the sleeve so that it's going to be firm together. This is what it's going to look like. This is our final result. We have not attached it to the dress yet or to the outfit yet, but this is it. It is ready to be attached to the outfit. These are the two sleeves for the left and the right parts. Let me know what you think about this. Is this something you're going to be trying? Is this something you're going to explore? And this is the full outfit. I said I should just give people a sneak peek. This is the full outfit. This is what the sleeve looks like on the outfit, and I really love it. I just love how different it looks. It's not your regular sleeve. And yeah, this dress actually came with an inner corset. If this is a tutorial you would love to see, let me know, and I'm also going to put this up. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to share this video, subscribe and like. See you in my next video. Bye.